Hello, this is Mrs. Jones, and today we're going to be looking at how to create a ToonDoo account. What ToonDoo is a comic strip builder online. You can make books, traits, buy images, share, post. There's different games as well that you get on this site, but it is a fun way to explore comic strips and writing with conversation and dialogue. So that's how we're going to look at it. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign up for free. So up here in the right hand corner of the web page, just double click sign up for free, and it should load in just a second. Okay, so what you see pops up as your two options. The first option is not free. It is for educators and for schools. It's going to be 10 cents per month, as low as, I should say, per user. So that can get kind of expensive. But what we are going to look at today is the public ToonDoo for the individual, which is free. There's thousands of different clip arts to use, and here are just some little bullet points. What I appreciate is that you can flag inappropriate tunes because, unfortunately, not everyone has an appropriate mindset sometimes. So we're going to sign up for ToonDoo. Yep, that's what I want. All right, so here's an example of one that you could make, so forth. And we're going to create a username, a password, and email ID. So I'm Miss Jones. Library, and that is a username that's available, and my password I'm going to make, and my email is my email that and you have your email as well through LISD, so it is .net. Okay, so now I'm going to click register. Once I register, it is going to ask me to re-log in with my new username and password. So right here it is again. So mine auto saves, which is nice, and if not, make sure you write this down in a secure place so you're not sharing your information. And then my password. And sign in. All right. So it gives you a chance to practice the username you just created as well as your password. And so now I'm logged in. I'm brand new, so I don't really have anything here. There is a safe search on, which is nice for a school, and I'm going to recommend that you keep the safe search on. So that way you're not at risk for anything inappropriate, which may or may not be out there on the web. All right, so what I want to do is create my own comic. So I'm going to go here and to create my own comic. Now, as you saw on the home page, there were other options as well to explore. But for today's screencast, we're going to focus on making our own. So you can select your layout, and I appreciate that it's visual, so you can kind of decide how many frames you want to do it and what it would look like. So I'm just going to do a 3-frame layout for beginning, middle, and end. And again, depending on story and your comic, what you need might change. As this is loading, some things that I'm thinking about, because as a good writer, we always have an idea of where we're going to go. So if you continue to run, your computer may become unresponsive. I do not want to abort the script. Always read those little boxes, because if I had clicked OK right there, the whole thing would go down. Alright, now I want to do an introduction to the library as my first comic. So, Untitled, I'm going to title mine here. I'm going to say, welcome, just one E, to OSE Library. So there's a limit on what I can actually use for my title, so I can't type anymore. Okay, good to know. See, this is our first time to look at this. So welcome to OSE, or let's just do OSE Library. Perfect. All right, so now let's see what it looks like here. There's tools down here to lock things. Right now it's unlocked, to shrink, enlarge, clone, flip, and rotate. There's trailers and images. This here looks like characters that we can use, and backgrounds possibly, props, text box, brushman, specials, open clip art, and then if you upload anything that would go in my gallery. So I'm going to start, let me see the props here. They have, I guess, edibles, shapes, our world, sports, logos. That is for the world endangered. Okay, it's here. Alright, interesting. So let's go with the background. I think for our welcome, I want to use this one here for abstract at first. And maybe, I don't know, I love paper. Maybe it's part of why I love books so much. So I'm going to put this as the first background. Perfect. Okay, and then maybe let's go to settings, indoors. And I don't see anything that looks library-esque quite. I see a classroom. Sure, let's try a classroom maybe. This is a pretty bleak looking classroom though. Or I guess it's more of an office. Not so much a fan of the office. So, I don't know, I think I prefer the abstract ones honestly. Or maybe the fun shapes. We'll see. So we're going to layer this to create our different backgrounds. Okay, so once you've decided on your background, let's start adding some props and characters. It's going to layer, so whatever you put down first will become the background, and what you put down in front will become the foreground. So I'm going to add a bunch of books, and I went to props to find this, and I'm just going to bring the books down. So you literally click and drag. And then you can decide, like those are pretty big, so I can shrink down here. I can shrink the books and kind of place them all over. And I don't see a place where I can copy them, which would be nice, but that's okay. So I'm just going to stack a whole bunch of books in here. Just kind of bring my point that, hey, you're in the library, just in case you didn't know. Because it's pretty awesome, and I think that we all love our library. Maybe Mrs. Jones is just kind of biased. But again, you'll see I put that one in front so it comes to the forefront. I'm going to shrink that one just a little bit though. Of course, there's more than just books with a library. So I'm going to say, welcome to the library. So I'm going to go find a character, and I just want a simple girl character. And even though I don't look like this, I think I'm going to use her because she had really cute facial expressions. So I'm going to put her here. And then I'm going to insert a speech bubble. So we're using English, and I think I want something really exciting. So exciting bold text. And I want this one here. Woohoo, English. And there's different thoughts. Bubbles are thinking bubbles. There's a lot of energy when you're talking. These type of boxes here are for the narrator, so not necessarily dialogue, but narration. So we're going to use some dialogue, and I'm going to bring this down here. And I don't want it sitting on my head like that, but maybe we can make it float up. Okay. So welcome to the library. And I cannot see what I typed there, so let's click it and drag it. And to make this look how I want it to, I'm just going to go ahead and get this bubble shorter by playing around with where I put my wording. So then I can stick it over here. Welcome to the library. Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start pulling out props, layering them in the background, and then putting our characters in. Alright, so what you see now is that I have played around with putting the character in and the props. One thing that I have here is this particular lady is in front of the desk, and I want her to go to the back. So I'm going to just tell her to move to the back, and there she is. Another thing that you can play around with too that I really like is if you change like where the actual line is going, you just grab it and drag it, and so you can make it like really long or short, just to kind of show like who is doing the talking. So now I have my comic, and I have what I want. It says, welcome to the library, learn digital literacy, and read. So I'm happy with where this is. And so now I'm going to try to figure out, okay, I have this, how do I publish it? So let's figure out where we go to publish our clip art. Alright, so to save, it doesn't show you anywhere in here, but up here there's a ToonDoo start here. Okay, well we didn't start there, but let's go see what this is. So if you want to make a new one, open, save, save as, or offer feedback, let's go ahead and save as. That way I have options to where I'm going to save. Description is going to be, welcome to the library. Tags, you can use different tags if you want to. I would prefer not to let others to redo, and if people want to buy this, sure, but I think that's kind of crazy. For right now, I'm going to keep it private, and only my friends get to see it, maybe. Share with friends. So enter email. I use separate by comma if you want to email it to them. So I'm going to keep it private right now, or maybe let's just go ahead and publish to the world. And publish. So, okay, it has been added to the public gallery, so go to page. Or I can print this tune, or I can say, oh, okay, thanks. So I'm going to leave this page, yes, and go see what happened and how it looks. So it's loading up the particular one. Hold on, it's just getting dressed up. So you can buy like print quality images of your tune if you think it's so amazing you need to have like a gallery of it, or maybe it's what you're doing for an announcement. This could be a really fun way to do like a birthday invitation or something too, so I could see why you'd want to buy your tune. But as it's being published, remember what you chose. So I chose open to the gallery so anyone can look at it. But if you want it to keep private, that would be fine, and then you could email it or post it as you see fit. Showing your friends it showed that you were to email, so entering emails by commas, so that would just be emailing your friends, which would be one way if your teacher chooses to use this in the classroom that you could share your work with your teacher by entering email. So let's give this a second to publish. So this particular viewing of the actual comic strip that I made is taking quite a lot of time. So as I look down here, I'm going to look for other options just so that way we can have an idea. Since it's actually been several minutes, I've had the screencast paused because it's taken close to 15 minutes and I still haven't seen my comic strip. But if we look down here, you can see that so far it says 6 people have viewed my comic strip, which is interesting because I haven't. But who knows? I guess it's out there for others. It does give me the option to embed, to actually get like the HTML to embed this, which I will do into my blog, The Journey of a Librarian, on Blogspot. And it also allows me to email as well as to download to my computer, to print. You can buy different things, tweet, or use Facebook. Again, you can connect with Facebook as well. So those are some great ways to share it. As a student, if this is part of your classwork, using the comic strip to express dialogue in written form, then I would suggest going ahead and making sure that you email yourself a copy and also saving it to your computer. If you're using a school computer, again, the best bet will be to email. You can also email your professor a copy as well. That way, you have access to this from any site. Because it is web-based, you can log in from any device, including the tablets, as well as iPhone. So you do have versatility in how you utilize